The reason we decided to work with Kiki was actually off a personal recommendation of a friend of ours. We were in the market and we really weren't sure what we were doing as far as finding a realtor. We were just talking to a bunch of different people, and our friend turned us on to Kiki, who specifically worked with people in our social group and lifestyle. And we thought, oh, that's interesting. That's somebody in our immediate crowd in our peer group. And we thought, okay, let's see what she has to say. And we met with her and really got a great vibe off of her and all the information she provided, and just decided to kind of go from there.
It was really nice to have somebody in the lifestyle who understood. There were some, specific things we were looking for in a home that, it was really nice to just be open and honest with somebody and not worry about judgment. She's got such a depth of knowledge and such an openness in how she shares that knowledge. I didn't feel like any aspect of the process was being gatekept, and I really love knowing all the things that I'm going to be working with or need to know, and it just felt like everything was presented in a way that was not just understandable, but freely given.
There was a lot of attention to detail and transparency. The realtors or people we had talked to before just kind of seemed indifferent, going through the motions, weren't super helpful in us attaining the goals we were looking for in a home. And Kiki right off the bat was just so detail oriented and specific, and came up with things we hadn't even thought of that were really important. And so we just felt super comfortable and at ease.
One of the wonderful moments that really stood out to me was actually at the very beginning. We met with her. She was willing to come to our neighborhood, and just the amount of prepared paperwork and everything she already had for us to go over. There was complete transparency in what we would be looking at, and it gave us a lot of confidence. I mean, I felt much better about moving forward with things, having seen examples of the type of contracts I'd be signing, and just nothing at all confusing or unexpected. And that made me feel very confident. Again, just a very different experience. It didn't feel like I was kind of, on my own reading documentation. Instead, it was like both of us and her all on one team working toward understanding what needed to happen.
She took the time to explain some of the real estate jargon that maybe we weren't familiar with, and very transparent about her fees, what we could expect to pay for various things, which we felt was pretty unique.
I'd say the thing that I enjoyed most about working with Kiki, the transparency and also just the joy she brought. Kiki definitely is authentic to her personality, and her personality is not in the slightest fake or hidden. It's so authentic. So it made us feel like we could be authentic and we could be, goofy and laugh and enjoy things. So yeah, my favorite part about her is her.
The home hunting process can be really stressful, and every time we went out to do it, like, oh well, we get to see Kiki, so that'll be fun. And we just clicked so well in terms of joking around and looking at houses and finding things and getting on the same page. So it was actually a really pleasant experience in what could have been a really stressful, agonizing experience in our home hunt.
Initially, when I spoke with Kiki, I was very excited about the idea of us having a property that we could maybe turn into a rental in the future or what have you. And as we were looking around, we would get excited about something, and she would very, very gently remind me that I had priorities, and she was correct. And we held out for the right one. And it is the right one. It has so many possibilities for us. It's great for us now, and as our lives move on, we're hoping to do traveling, hopefully Europe and so on, a lot more. And it's going to be a great property as a secondary source of income.
Yeah, and I'll add, she never tried to hard sell us on the wrong property. She was very open with, I don't know about this, guys. I think we could do better. I have this other place in mind. She, like a lot of realtors I know, are just like, you get them in the door and try to sell them no matter what it is. And that's not her at all. So that was, that made us feel much more comfortable.
She made up for some lack. Not going to name names, but the other realtor on the other end was definitely not the most professional. We had moments where there were some issues on their end for fulfilling contract. Um, and also on the bid for the place, we knew exactly how much we could spend, and she made sure that we gave a very unique styled bid that would encourage the sellers to prefer us over the other bids coming in while still keeping us actually at the price point we wanted. And it was by putting in some concessions on the other end of it while putting like a little bit of higher price point on the purchase, which I would never have thought of on my own. And it was really cool that she came up with that. And we did end up beating out the other bids on the house because of it. Fully believe it's because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, we were concerned, right, that at first, we might get outbid on this. It was our first bid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was our first. We hit our first bid, and which is kind of rare in Denver, from what I understand. And yeah, she presented opportunities working with the mortgage company, different options, and presented us with those. And it definitely, has to do with her expertise and experience in this industry. Absolutely.
Kiki definitely made sure that this property met our requirements by being just so on top of the search. I think as soon as something would come up, she was immediately poking us because, you get the automatic updates and such, but she was more hands-on,
Mhm.
like actually looking at the ones that are being updated and then saying, I've been in the area, or I've seen similar ones like this. We should probably put that at the top of the list, which really helped us prioritize our search. If anyone asked me if they should work with Kiki, my answer would be wholeheartedly, absolutely. Why are you not doing it already? There's no question in my mind. She's a consummate professional, and she brings such a force of personality to every moment of the process. And she's just a very authentic person who is going to bring an insane level of expertise to the table.
Yeah, I would recommend Kiki to anybody in our community because I think she understands the needs of people in our community maybe better than, say, your average realtor. Plus, again, with the whole transparency part, it's been a while since I've ever been even adjacent to a home sale, but I've seen realtors, I've experienced what the process can be like, and I think that her transparency is pretty unique.
Working with Kiki guarantees that when you have special desires for your home, that may not be a single family situation. She has the experience and the contacts, even if she doesn't have the lived experience, to be able to really conceptualize that for you. One of the things I really loved about Kiki was her joy. And this really helped with some pretty disappointing aspects of house hunting. There were many times where something looked great in pictures, and we would show up having driven 45 minutes, and it was a uh, renovation that would make a landlord special blush. And
Hmm.
that happened repeatedly for us, or other situations would arise when we walked in the home that we were like, oh, that needed to be disclosed and that wasn't disclosed. That's fun. But she was so cheerful and so peppy and positive,
Hmm.
and without sugarcoating the situation, just really, really helping us feel like it's an adventure and this is fun instead of it feeling like a drag
Hmm.
and a disappointment.
There came a point where we kind of looked at each other and said, in our price range, it's probably we're gonna have to make a lot of personal concessions, and it's gonna be a fixer upper, and it's not gonna be what we hoped. And she was just so persistent and positive and saying, no, we're gonna find the right home for you guys, and she did.
It 100% helped us hold out for the right place instead of settling, feeling the pressure like we need to get something because nothing's good out there. So if it's okay, then we'll jump on it. Like, no, it needed to be the right property, and she definitely helped us maintain the hope to find the right one.